I'm going to use a piece of jelly roll, and on a jelly roll it's 2.5 inches, so I didn't bother to cut the width of this, so it's a 2.5 inch width by 5.5 in length, and you're going to need 2 of these for your little coin pouch. We're going to do the same measurements, 2.5 inches by 5.5, with a little piece of quilt batting, because we just want a little bit of stabilisation rather than just doing the little pieces of cotton. We're also going to need a tab for your keyring to hold onto for your little pouch, and basically I cut this to 2.25 inches in width by 4 inches, and basically you press it in half in order to get that fold, and you start to fold these bits in for the raw edges, and then you fold that into the middle, and that creates your little keychain fold over. So you're going to put your keyring on the end of this loop here. And then I got some pieces of Velcro for my closure, and I did this 1 inches in length. So this is both of the parts where it's a little less, there's some teeth on one side of the Velcro, and on the other side it's a little bit furry. Don't be worried about sewing Velcro, it's very easy. And I'm going to put this onto my pouch in order to close it. I use a Babylock Soprano for all of my sewing tutorials, and I've just made my stitch length a little bit longer than its manufacturer's setting, and this is set on a straight stitch. And in the thread area we have just a regular polyester thread, and also in the bobbin area we have a regular white thread too. I always use a Microtex 9014 sewing needle for all of my projects. It's great for doing any sort of cotton work. Now I did do some markings for where I'm going to place my Velcro, and I'm going to place my Velcro roughly about 1/2 inch from the top here, and this marking here is for where I'm going to place my tab, and my tab is going to be about 2.5 inches from the top. What we need to do first is sew our Velcro into place. So it really doesn't matter which one you use first. Just grab one of the sections and we're going to put it down. You may have to pin into place, or you might be able just to hold it into place and just sew it down. Now I have put my regular sewing foot on first in order to sew my Velcro into place, and if you need to find the middle, like you can see this crease, I've just folded it over, and that creates a little crease in the centre so you know where the middle is. I also made a little marking, as you can see, so I know exactly where my 1/2 inch is. So I'm just going to sew this into place. As you can see, it's quite easy. This is just on the really tough bristly part of my Velcro, and it sews really easy. So I'm going to go round in a circle sewing my Velcro down, and then what you're going to have to do after the fact is do a crisscross, and I'll show you. So you're going to do like a kiss on the Velcro. So you're just going to sew down, and then you'll take the same path across the Velcro like so, and then do another crisscross across. That just helps to secure your Velcro in place, because you're going to be opening and closing this quite a lot. I'm just going to do a back stitch. And there we go. Now, because you're going to be opening and closing this pouch such a lot, it's a great idea to crisscross on the Velcro like so. So you can see what I did a square and then just a cross in the centre. I'm going to do the same thing to the furry section of the Velcro now. Now I'm going to attach this all together. So I've got the printed side of my pouch, and also I've got the quilted section, and I'm just going to do this all together with my Velcro piece on top. Here we go, exactly the same method, and we are going to sew around this Velcro. So you do a nice square all the way around, putting the Velcro into place on the pouch. And go all the way around. And then we're going to create that kiss. And then go straight down. And do a kiss on the other side. This just helps to secure the Velcro in place on the pouch. And do a back stitch at the end. Now we're going to put the pieces right sides together, but you've got to be mindful you're going to have one at the top and one at the bottom. You don't want them both on the same side. And you're going to put them right sides together, like so. Before we do that, we're going to stitch down the sections of our tab. So we're going to fold it over, and we're going to do 2 stitches. We're going to do 1 down either side. These projects are great for beginner sewers, and the reason why they're great for beginner sewers is because they're really quick and easy to accomplish. So this is my tab. And remember I said you want to put it roughly 2.5 inches from the top, and your tab wants to be facing inside of the pouch with the raw edges facing out to the raw edges of the edge here. And you are going to need a clip or a pin to clip this into place. So what I'm going to do is a little bit less than 1/4 inch and just go around like a little scant 1/4 inch, just closing everybody into place. However, you're going to leave a little bit of a gap, maybe about 1 inch or 3/4 inch. And this is so you can pull everything right sides out. And don't do it near a corner, do it away from a corner, so you can have a little bit of an opening around here on the side. So I'm going to start mine around about here. So we're going to start the stitch. I'm going to go backwards, we're just going to reverse over that stitch, and then go forward again. I have a pivot key on my Babylock Soprano, which is really great, which allows my presser foot to raise up and down without me even touching it, which is brilliant. So it's basically hands-free sewing. So I'm going to close this up here. I'm going to pivot again when I get to this corner. And I'm going to go all the way down. This is why I have my tab section here. It's up to you, you can go over it a couple of times. I'm just going to do it just the once. And then I'm going to pivot again, take this clip out. But have you seen how many skills you've just learned by just doing this tiny project? You've learned how to put your Velcro on, and you're learning how to make this cute little pouch. And now I don't want to close this up because I'm coming to the end here, so I'm going to back stitch and go forward again. This is what it looked like so far, and if you have any bulk, just go around and just chop it off. And also these little pieces where you have some threads just hanging out, just going to cut that around the corner. And also I'm just going to cut this tab section off. Just don't cut through your stitches. There we are, we've tidied this all up. Now we're going to pull everything right sides through. So you're going to fold this so it's facing the right sides, so you'll have the batting on the inside. So go ahead and do that. For the next part I'll use a stick because I just want to point all those corners so they look nice and sharp, and I'll also take it over to my iron and give it a nice press. So I'll take it to the iron and give it a nice press so all these things are laying flat, and we still have this opening to deal with, and I'll show you what to do next. I've given my pouch a really good press, and now I'm going to close this opening. So I'm going to do about 1/4 inch all the way around my pouch. Just remember to backstitch and then go all the way around your pouch, sewing that opening into place. And if you do have that pivot key like I do, just keep that on, and then, oh, I've turned mine off. There you go, mine's back on again. There we go. And go all the way around your pouch. If that does happen, it just means that you're just right on the edge. Just raise your needle and then it'll thread through. It's just not quite catching the feed dogs. Another tip for something like this, when you're doing a project that's really small like this, you want to use a print that's quite small too. Because if you use a big print, it kind of is, it's lost on these types of projects. And then when we come to the end here, we're just going to go and back stitch once more. Now what I'm going to do is fold the bottom of my pouch up, and then I'm going to fold this over just to test it, and that is the right amount. So just before you sew this into place, just double check it. Now mine, when it's folded over, it's roughly about 1 3/4 inch. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to sew into place this down, and I'm going to take the same line what we did just before, just to close this down, this 1/4 inch here. So I'm going to do it on this side, and I'm going to do it on this side, and I'm going to sew this into place so it doesn't open and close on us. Don't forget to do a back stitch on the start and at the ends, because you're going to be going in and out of this pouch a lot, and then that has put our pouch into place. Now fold it over and lock it into place, and it'd be a good idea now to take this back over to the iron and just press this into place to give it a nice crease at the top here. Now we're just going to get a key ring for the top for the tab here. Now for most carts here in Canada it's $1, so I'm just going to pop my dollar into its home that I have just made, and I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial on how to make this cart pouch. Thank you so much for watching. Please leave a comment, don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you next Wednesday. Thank you. Bye guys.